Right, so I have gathered your Driving Empire myths. Now, there was a lot from you guys. Some of them were repeated questions, so I couldn't include those. But I've gathered 35 of them, and I'm going to be going over them to see if they're true or if they're false. But anyway, starting off is this one. There is a Minecraft house under the map, under the dealership. Now, I'm pretty sure this would be false just for copyright reasons, really. Because, I mean... yeah, I didn't really think this one was going to be true. Maybe if you go in the dealership, yeah, there's nothing. This one is false. I mean, what do you really expect, to be honest? You can't really put a Minecraft thing in here, copyright and stuff, you know? Anyway, the next one is the passenger display on the Lamborghini, whatever, the new one, is actually functional. Now, I don't think he's meaning, like, actually pressable, but maybe he means, like, when you drive? It does. If you look there, I was, like, zoom into it, it's actually... going up, which I think is really cool. I don't really know why you have a speedometer on the passenger seat, because like you don't drive as a passenger, but I mean it's actually cool that they added that into the game. I didn't realize, so that myth is true. The next myth is the Hennessy Venom F5 Revolution Roadster, or any F5 in general, has Pennzoil in the engine bay. Now I don't actually know what that is, but apparently it's here. Pennzoil, I guess. I don't know what this is. I guess oil, like an oil thing or whatever, but I mean, I guess that's cool. I guess this myth is true, as you know, it has that, I guess, so kind of cool. The next myth is another Hennessy Venom F5 thing, and it's that the Hennessy Venom F5 Roadster has 5 backfires instead of 4. So it's got 4 exhausts. Now I think it's only when you use boost. Yeah, it is. So when you don't use boost, it's fine. But when you go ahead and do use boost, it's got 5 like places it comes out of. I don't know why it's like that. I guess they messed up with the model. It's not really too much, but that myth is semi-true, I guess. I want to just say it's true. The next myth is you can't sell the RX-7. Now, this sadly is true. I forgot the name of it. If we look here, this is Mazda. You can't sell the RX-7 and you can't sell the Miata. Don't ask about the Underglow. You can't sell these. You can't sell them. So I don't know. Maybe they get licensed in the future. We'll have to see. The next myth is there is a secret cave on the Sandy Shores Island next to the waterfall on the hill. So if we actually go over here, so there's the waterfall, and then over here is the hill area, I guess. It's not really too much of a secret, but if you go here, it's got like muffins. It's kind of a nice place to be honest. That you can see the whole map, even though it's not like loaded in properly, you can still see it. And while we're at Sandy Shores, the next myth is that there's a secret place near the waterfall. I don't actually know if this one's true. I checked it when the update actually came out, and there's none there. None there. There is a third waterfall, so we go over here, and none here, I don't think. I guess, could this be a secret bit? Like, this is kind of a secret place-ish. But if you go in free cam, there is actually no, like, place where you can go in or whatever. It would be really cool, like, if they had something here for, like, a future teaser. Dev's hint, maybe. You can go in here and, you know, there'll be a car there as a sneak peek. But at the moment, there is nothing, so this myth is false. So for the next myth, I've gone over to the highway area. As this myth says, if you remove the roof of some of the cars, they get slightly faster. Which, I don't know if that really actually works, but we've got basically the fastest car in game here. The Absolute here, maxed out, I think it does around 400 miles per hour. It does take a while to get to its top speed. So here's the top speed of the Absolute, 384, and then 413, whatever, with boost. Now, if we go ahead, and if we press U, it takes the roof off, and if we do this test again, I don't see an increase or a decrease in top speed, even with boost. It's the exact same, so this myth is false. I don't know why it would be true. Anyway, this says, in a new account, it will give the cheapest house for free. Now, I actually did test this out. I was testing something else out, and I found this out, so I'll go ahead and put a video up. This is actually true. This myth is true. It does give the cheapest house. Now, you can't actually sell the house, so, you know, it doesn't really matter if you get the house for free or not. So this myth is true, but it has no really use, to be honest. The next myth is, if you go to the Porsche dealership and under the map, there is a Noble M600 Carbon Sport with a blueprint texture. So this is true for only the time of this Porsche event, I'm pretty sure. So when this Porsche event goes away, this myth will become false. But if you go in free cam, Obviously, you have the Porsche here, but if you go under the map, I was off a little bit, but there is the Noble M600 Carbon Sport thing, and this myth is true. And this next myth says, if you go to the max height with a helicopter and jump out, you will deploy a parachute and will float down slowly. We're at max height here, and if we go ahead and jump out, I didn't deploy a parachute at all. I can try it again over water or something. Yeah, I have no parachute. This myth is false. Now, I know it did work before, so I don't know why it's like the parachute's gone. Maybe they deleted it or something, but this myth is false. The last myth on Discord says, there is still a Chevy truck at the farm next to the highway. What the? Voldix, fix your map. I know you're making a new map soon, but this is just horrible. Anyway, if we go over to the farm, go over here, this is the farm place or whatever. You go over here and yes, I guess. I don't really know if this is actually a Chevy truck. This has been here for a while. I think it has moved. Like before it was here with like some containers and stuff. And I mean, yeah, it's here now, I guess. So this myth is true, I guess. I don't even know this was a Chevy. Anyway, now we get onto the YouTube ones. And the first one is the Audi R8 LMS GT3 Evo has a license plate despite being not street legal. So, Audi. Oh, it does have a license plate. Yeah, this car shouldn't be street legal. I don't know why it has a license plate, but I guess it's a licensed car. I don't know. But this myth is true. The next myth is inside the Zonda F Roadster, it says Zonda Cinque instead of Zonda F. On the left of the RMP, we go into the interior. You can. The car's moving backwards. It does. It says Zonda Cinque. I don't think Pagani would be really too happy about one of their cars saying another car. Over here it says the Roadster F. So I think Voldix just got a little bit lazy and put the Zonda Cinque thing here. That myth is true. The next myth is about Paganis again, and it's that there's an AMG logo on the Pagani engines. Now this myth would be true. I don't think it was this one. I think it was the Utopia. So before, there was an AMG logo right there. Now, there isn't one now. It's been deleted. But if we go back over to the dealership and we look over here, there's actually two Paganis. And if I go in free cam and we go over here, I'm pretty sure... Yeah, we go. So over here, it wasn't in the middle. It was like above it. But you can see an AMG badge. And if we go back to my one over here, they put it back on. They removed it before. Anyway, this myth is true. I didn't know they added it back. The next myth is that the cheapest car has no radio, but there is a hole. I don't actually know which car is the cheapest anymore because they've changed it about a bit. But if we go in here and we go low to high or whatever, the Audi A4 limousine. Apparently it has no radio, but there's a hole. So if we go in free cam, doesn't this count as like a radio thing here? I don't see a hole. This myth I'll say is false. There is a radio. Next myth is about the new Porsche that came. And that is if you turn on your engine on the GT2 RS, the fan exhaust will spin. Now this would be really cool if it actually works. So those are the fans in there. Do they actually move? They don't move like normally. It'd be really cool if they do as a little detail and we get in. Yeah, they don't work. It'd be really cool detail, to be honest, but they don't work. The next myth is that there's planes in Driving Empire. Now, I'll quickly go in and say, that myth is false. It is definitely false. If we go in here, and whatever, and, there's 3 helicopters. Now, there is a picture here with, like, a plane wing. This plane wing has been there for ages. And there was like a plane before. They did change this up a little bit ago, so it has no more plane. But if we go over here where the hangars are, there is like plane parts. So like you can see a wing there. I guess it could be for a helicopter. But then there's like jet engines. Okay, I don't know why I can't go in here. But there's like jet engines here. There's wings again. There's, I mean, that could be for a helicopter, but it'd be a very small helicopter. Jet engine. Now another one of those. There's no planes you can actually fly, or there is no planes in Driving Empire, but there are definitely hints to it. This myth is false because there is actually none. Now on the topic of planes, the next myth is you can find an abandoned plane in the water where the old airport used to be. So I'm gonna go ahead and fly over. It's way quicker. And I will be honest, I did check this before because I actually didn't know myself. I didn't think it was true, but if we go into like here and we do just like fly around a little bit, like being under the water, whatever, no plane, no nothing. It's kind of sad because it would be cool teaser, but yeah, there is nothing plane wise in the water, abandoned planes, whatever. So this myth is false. The next myth is the center console screen on most of the modern McLarens in game is functional. Now, go ahead and drive it here. I mean, my arm is kind of covering it. But even if I do try and click on it, nothing actually works. It would be kind of cool if we had like a better thing where you could actually like manually turn off the car. But yeah, that myth is false, sadly. Our next myth is back on the Porsche, and it is the Porsche Turbo 50 has a red light turned on at the front whenever it is being driven. If we go here, red light apparently. Oh, I don't see any red light. There's like a thing here, but there's no actual red light to indicate or anything. There's the back here, but those are just like the braking lights. This myth is false, unless I'm looking at the wrong thing, but next myth is the Zenvo TSR spoiler is moving when you drive. So we get this. This is like one of my favorite cars at the moment. I do actually kind of like it. We go here and we drive it, we pick up speed, and yeah, the spoiler does move. It's a really cool thing because it happens in real life, and this myth is true. And on the topic of Zenvo, the Zenvo makes a noise when you open the back of it. Now, I'm presuming this one because you can't really open the back of the other ones, but if we go ahead and open this and you listen, and yes, this is true. It makes a nice sound. Before it, like the back of the car, like went through the spoiler and it bugged out or whatever. But they did fix it, so when you put the thing down, it doesn't actually go with the spoiler, and it's, you know, it's like real life. It doesn't touch and it doesn't collide, which is cool. Anyway, the next myth is if you fly a helicopter and you take it to the beach by the Ferris wheel, you can see all the deleted cars lined up. I don't think they'll do this because, like, copyright, they don't want to keep the cars in game. But if we go near the beach, which should be here, yeah, and we go near the Ferris wheel, we fly all the way up, we look around, the map obviously starts to do its weird thing where it goes horrible. Unless I'm blind, this myth is false. I don't see anything really. It's just not. This myth is false. Now, the next myth is if you drive near the boat dealership, whatever, you can actually drive on the land or whatever. If we go over here, not the land, you can drive in the water. So we go over here, and yes, this is true. It is really weird because you shouldn't be able to drive on sand underwater unless it's like an actual submarine car thing or whatever. But yeah, this myth is true. You can drive under the water. So the next myth on the topic of water, you can't sell a car underwater. So if we go ahead and drive back into the water here or whatever, and we press the sell button, you can sell it. Now, I don't know if you actually have to get out, so I'm going to go ahead and get a car that I don't actually particularly like, and if we actually try and sell this, we sell this, yeah, it's gone. My car's gone. The car's gone. You can sell cars underwater, so this myth is false. Now, back at the Porsche again, if we go to the Porsche GT3 RS interior, this is the GT2 RS instead of the GT3 RS under the door near the passenger seat. If we open this up, we go here, that says GT3 RS, but apparently if you go under the door, I don't see anything under the door. There it says GT3 RS when it is the GT3 RS. Maybe this side? I don't see why it would say the GT2 RS, because this myth is false. It says the GT3 RS when it is the GT3 RS, so yeah. The next myth is in the tunnels to the left of the cafe place, the right tunnel had a weird texture near the end of the tunnel. So we go over here, the cafe place basically, and we go to the right tunnel, so this one I'm pretty sure. It apparently has a weird texture near the end of the tunnel. And yes, if we go back over here, this is true. Now, this weird texture is actually part of the mini-map. So if you look here, it's got like the place or whatever. Now, I'm pretty sure it's actually right here where this place over there is. If you look here, it is the exact same. So I don't know why the mini-map like texture here has gotten to the actual like place on the game. I don't know why it does that, but this myth is true. They should probably delete it soon. It might confuse people. Now this next myth is if you drive into the water, you will spawn back instead of dying. So other than that piece of land near the boat dealership or whatever, where you can actually drive into the water and you'll be fine. If we go ahead and go over here, and we drive into the water, I mean there's something in the way. Go over here, and yeah, you'll be spawned back even if you do this again. And again, it will spawn you just back for forever basically until you get spawned at the dealership. So that myth is true. And then the last 5 myths here are the Agera RS wing does not move when you press the wing icon button. So if we get the Helix or the Agera, we press P. Yeah, the U button works obviously for the roof, but if you press P, nothing happens with the spoiler. The spoiler doesn't actually move, I'm pretty sure. Maybe. I can't actually tell if it does move. I think it moves a little bit, but yeah, this myth is true. The spoiler doesn't move when you press P. Now, this next myth says, you can't step on any of the ships out in the oceans. If you try to, or you'll just fall through the ship. So, if we get a helicopter or whatever. So, here's one of the ships here. The loading is actually horrible. They've made it even worse. I don't know how. But, if we go over here, and if we jump out, we just fall through. Now, I don't know why it does it, but yeah, this myth is true. Don't know why it does this. It would be kind of cool to have the boat moving around the map, but lag maybe? I don't know. Now, while we're in the water, the next myth is the super yacht can go at infinite speeds. So if we go ahead and spawn this here, actually still smaller than that. And if we go ahead and start driving, it can only go to 85 miles per hour. Now, before they actually broke the like boats or whatever, they removed the collisions. This could actually go at super speeds, like this person said, infinite speeds basically. So I'll try and find a clip if I can of the boat going really quick. You could fling each other basically, and that was like the main point of if you have a lot of money and you're at the end game of Driving Empire, that's basically what you did. You just played around with the yachts with each other, and since they removed that, Driving Empire is just kind of, there's nothing else to do now other than car meets if you finish the game. But this myth is true-ish. You could do it in the past, you can't do it now, so I'll leave this one up to you if you want to agree with it or not, but you used to be able to. Coming up on the last few myths now, this one says the train moves with each update. And now, if you don't know what he means if you go all the way over to the Daytona race, not the Lightning Loop anymore. It's not really on the Daytona, it's near it, and if we go over here, there should be a train. There is a train right here. Now, this used to be going towards, I'm pretty sure, because there used to be an airport and a dock area, this train track actually went over there, and seeing as that never actually got added, like it never came with the update, this train has kind of just been left here. So, I don't actually know if it moves, so I'm going to go ahead and stand right here, basically in front of it. And I'm going to take a picture. So this is exactly where my legs are. This train will actually move forward. Now, it would be kind of cool if it does as like a time thing. It's, in fact, not actually even on the rails. So that could be, like, meaning it's actually moving because they keep moving every single update. But yeah, I'll check back on this. I don't know if this is true or not. And then the second to last myth is if you touch grass, you'll earn 2 million. Now, at the time we were recording this video, it is 5 AM, and I don't know if I want to go outside at 5 AM, but if I do get a free 2 million, why not? So, I'll be right back. I better get money for this. The stars are very nice, though. Look at it. Oh. It's actually kind of peaceful. Anyway. Okay, we're back indoors now, and I have no more 2 million. I didn't get a 2 million. The last myth is if you fall off the map, the video ends. The thing is with this myth, this is actually not possible since you get teleported back to land. So I could just be having this video on forever, to be honest. Oh. Maybe if I do fall off the map, it just ends. The next myth is another Hennessy Enema 5 thing. And it's that the if you remove the roof, so the next myth on the topic of water is you can't sell a